welcome to a gentle yoga class. Before we get started, I'm just going to suggest that maybe you'll want either a folded blanket or a couple beach towels that can help to lift the hips. So it's really nice if your hips feel tight, or if you're experiencing any tightness in the back of the legs, the muscles at the back of the legs. Or if you notice that when you're sitting, you tend to kind of roll the back if you're not really able to sit up straight. So sometimes that's just tightness in the low back. And then something that might be nice also is a yoga block. Of course, if you don't have a yoga block, you can use other stuff in your house. I have used mason jars or cans of tomatoes, or maybe a water bottle, maybe a couple books. You know, just look around. I'm sure you can find something. And then one other thing that might be nice also is a strap of some sort. So it doesn't have to be a yoga strap. This is actually the strap for my mat. It could be a belt. It can be the sash for a bathrobe. You know, again, just look around, find something that might be useful for you. Okay, so we're gonna start by taking a comfortable seat, and whatever that is for you. It doesn't have to be crisscross if you'd rather have your legs out in front of you, you know, whatever feels good. You're welcome to sit up on a prop, so if you want to pop a blanket or a block under the bum, now is the time to do that. And we're going to start by just taking a few moments to settle into our space. As always, before we move our bodies, we're going to just take a few moments to begin to quiet the mind chatter. So relax the hands. They can be on your lap, your knees, your thighs, whatever feels right. Relax the fingers and the toes. Good, we're going to take a big inhale in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. We're doing that 2 more times. Inhale. Good, 1 more inhale. Let the energy and the weight of the body settle down into the hips. Letting the hips get heavy. Tailbone roots down. Noticing all the points of contact between you and your mat. Next inhale, sit tall, lengthen up through the spine. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Release the jaw. Let the teeth part. Actively soften all the muscles around the scalp, across the forehead, behind the ears, at the base of the skull. Bringing the awareness inside the body. Begin to focus on the breath. Following the air, moving in and out through the nose. Slow and steady. Letting go of any craziness from the day, from the week. Letting go of any distractions outside of this room. Take a few more cycles of breath here. Good. Whenever you're ready, start to flutter the eyes back open. So we're going to come into a seat. I'm going to suggest crisscross if you haven't already. If you're up on a prop, it's up to you when you come down off of it. So if it feels better for you to have that block or blanket under your bum while we're seated, just stay there. You'll know if it's appropriate for you to shift. Okay, so just pay attention to what your body's telling you. All right, so we are going to start by sitting nice and tall. So the hip bones root down. We're going to pull the belly button in, and the tailbone is going to drop. Okay, so we're not sticking the booty out. We're going to try to keep the pelvis neutral. Hands are going to rest on the thighs or the knees. Relax the shoulders. Good, so the spine is tall. From here, we're just going to let the chin drop to the chest. So we're not rounding the back or leaning forward, just chin to chest. And we'll take a couple cycles of breath here. Let the head be heavy. You might feel a stretch at the back of the neck, base of the skull, upper shoulders, upper back. Good. With your next inhale, we're going to slowly rotate left ear towards the left shoulder. And as you exhale, come back through center, letting the chin drop to the chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Okay, continue with your breath. So nice and slow, side to side, going through your half circles. And if you'd like a little deeper stretch on the side of the neck, you can let your fingertips come down to the mat and start to walk the fingers away from the body. Okay, so just that little adjustment creates a little extra stretch on the side of the neck. You might even feel this stretch continue to the front of the shoulder. Okay, a couple more rounds. Chin comes back to chest, hands back to the knees or the thighs. Inhale, sit tall. Okay, we're going to take a few rolls with the shoulders. So 3, 4, 5 in one direction. Your hands might move on your legs as you roll. That's okay. Good, reverse direction. The spine can wiggle a little bit while you're rolling shoulders. That's perfectly acceptable. Good, come back to center, sit tall. We're going to reach the hands up overhead. Inhale. Good, reach one hand over the other. So we're going to reach through the right fingertips and then through the left fingertips. Maybe your gaze shifts down to your lap if that feels best for your neck. You're just going to feel a little side body stretch, a little wiggle in the spine. So we're just waking stuff up. Okay, come back through center, reach high, inhale, exhale, left hand down, right hand reaching up and over. That planted hand is going to shift wherever you need to feel supported. Good, hips both stay rooted on the mat, reach through those top fingertips. So we're lengthening that right side of the rib cage. Gaze can be out in front, at the ceiling, at the floor, doesn't matter where. Just checking in with the neck, whatever feels best, neck and shoulders. Good, we're going to inhale, come back through center, reach high. Exhale, right hand down, left hand reaching up and over. Hips press down, reaching through the fingertips. Okay, try to keep the heart open towards the wall in front of you. That planted hand again can move wherever you need to feel supported. Keep reaching out through those top fingertips. Good. We're going to come back through center. Reach those hands high. Inhale. Exhale, left hand by the hip, right hand to the left knee. Good, we're gonna start to sit tall on our next inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, continue to twist towards the left. And we're just checking in with the breath and with the spine, the neck. If there's any discomfort or restriction of breath, we're gonna just come slightly out of that twist. So trying to pay attention to what your body is telling you. We're just gonna keep responding to its requests. Good, next inhale, come back through center, reach high. Exhale, right hand by the hip, left hand to the right knee, sit tall, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, continue to twist to the right. Good, checking in with the spine, the neck on this side. It might be different side to side, just being mindful. Adjust if you need to. Good, we're gonna come on back through center. Inhale, reach it high. Pull the palms together down to heart center. Good, take a breath. Beautiful, release the hands. We're gonna reach high again. Inhale, eagle wrap. So the right arm comes over the left. Beautiful, I'm gonna turn so you can see better. So either the back of the hands are touching, maybe the palms, doesn't matter which. If crisscrossing the upper arm is a little awkward for you, you can simply bring the forearms together and stay there. Okay, we're gonna pull the belly button in, sit tall. Elbows align with the shoulders. Good, from here, without leaning forward, we're gonna press the elbows out in front. So we're getting a little more opening in the upper back. Maybe you tuck your chin a little bit here. Feel that stretch go up the back of the neck. Keep breathing. Good, next inhale, lift the elbows, little arch to the back. Exhale, lead with the elbows, fold forward. Beautiful, so the tailbone, the hips are staying rooted. Keep pressing the elbows away from the body. Head heavy. Keep breathing. Good. We're gonna inhale, sit tall, unravel, reach it high. Exhale, big circle down. All right, from here, we're gonna switch our feet. So whichever foot was in front is now behind. Good, root those hips back down. Sit nice and tall. Inhale, hands overhead. Eagle wrap opposite, left over right. Good, options, either back of the hands are touching, maybe the palms, or maybe the forearms come together. Okay, doesn't matter which. Belly button in, sit tall, elbows align with the shoulders. Good, without leaning forward, we're pressing those arms and elbows out to the front of the room. Tuck the chin a little bit, feel that stretch in the upper back between the shoulder blades. Good, keep breathing. Beautiful, next inhale, lift the elbows, little arch to the back. Exhale, lead with the elbows, fold forward. Good, tailbone, hips stay rooted, elbows press away from the body, head heavy. Keep breathing. And we're gonna sit tall, take your time, unravel, reach those hands high. Exhale, big circle down. All right, beautiful. I'm gonna move through some seated cat-cows. All right, so I'm gonna rotate again just so you can see what's happening. Okay, so hands are gonna come either to the thighs or the knees. We're gonna sit nice and tall. As we inhale, we're pulling the heart forward, so we're gonna arch the back. The shoulder blades come together. Okay, we're gonna lift the chin a little bit. Good, inhale. as we exhale, we're gonna lean back, roll back. Good, chin to chest. Inhale, heart forward, little arch to the back, shoulder blades together. Exhale, round the back, head heavy. So we're gonna just start to move with your breath. Take your time, there's no rush. Try to match your movement to your breath as much as you can. Couple more rounds of breath here. To our neutral spine. All right, we're gonna add on a little bit. So to our cat-cow, we're gonna add in a little rotation. So we're gonna start on the left side. So we're gonna start to lean to the left, bring the heart forward, swing the heart towards the right side. Good, and then as we round the back, we're gonna go right to left. So you're gonna notice that you are rocking on your hips, on the bottom of the hips, and that's fine. So the weight is shifting forward, to the side, back, to the other side. And so your circles can be as big or as small as you wanna make them. There's not really a right or a wrong way to be circling. All right, I'm gonna just shift so you can see from a different angle. All right, keep rotating. Good, and then we're gonna start to slow it down and reverse. So we're just gonna shift from the opposite side, okay? Take your time. Again, circles as big or as small as you wanna make them. Pay attention to what your body is asking for. Rotating on the hips. So that point of contact is kind of shifting on the bottom of the pelvis. Good, start to slow down. And we'll come back to neutral spine. Cool, from here we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together, knees come wide. Good, so if you're noticing any discomfort in your knees, you can grab a block, a blanket, a pillow, and pop them right under the thigh or the knee. Give yourself a little support, okay? Good, again, we're gonna sit tall, belly button in, open the heart. So those hands might come up towards the knees. Good, big inhale. As you exhale, we're leading with the heart, flat back as far as you can forward. Good, and then start to round it down. So the head gets heavy, chest and chin drop towards the mat, shoulders relax. Good, those hands might start to work their way towards your feet. Might even walk out towards the wall in front of you. Keep relaxing the muscles in the neck, head heavy. Relax the jaw, keep breathing. And slowly coming back towards the center, sitting tall. All right, we're gonna get into the hips in a slightly different way. So we're gonna keep the right foot where it is. We're gonna push that left foot forward, so that the back of the heel and the tip of the toes are touching. Check in with the knees. Give yourself support if you need to, right? Block or blanket, pillow, whatever you need. Hands to the knees. Sit tall, belly button in, open the heart. Big inhale. Exhale, flat back forward as far as you can. Good, might only be half an inch, that's okay. And then we're gonna round. Beautiful, head heavy. Relax the shoulders, maybe those hands walk out to the feet, or they can keep walking to the wall in front of you. Keep breathing. So you might notice that the stretch feels a little different on the left side. Right, the left side of the hip, you might feel the stretch going down the leg or up the low back. All that is good. As long as it feels comfortable, of course. Good, inhale, sit tall. Take your time. We're gonna switch those feet out. So left foot back, right foot forward. Tip of the toes, back of the heel. Check the knees. Give yourself support if you need to. You can even adjust the feet a little closer to the body or a little further away. Good, hands to the knees, sit tall, belly button in, open the heart. Good, big inhale. Exhale, flat back forward as far as you can. Round when you're ready. Head heavy, heart, chin relaxing. Hands might walk towards the feet. Might walk out towards the wall in front of you. Keep breathing. Sit tall. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together one more time. So hands might come up to the knees or the shins. We're going to sit tall, navel in, heart open, big inhale. Exhale, flat back forward. As far as you can, round when you're ready. Head heavy. Hands might walk towards the feet. Shoulders relax. Good. Hands can walk out towards the wall in front of you if that feels good. Keep breathing. Sit tall. Moving into our child's pose. So we're gonna bring the big toes together to touch. Knees come nice and wide to the edges of the mat. Hips are back towards the heels. And then we're gonna slowly start to walk the hands out in front. The heart and the forehead start to melt towards the mat. All right, so keep in your child's pose, but I'm gonna give you an option. If you're noticing any discomfort in the knees, you can take your blanket or your towel, roll it up, and pop it under the bum, between the ankles and the bum. And that should take some pressure off the knees. Okay, so that's just an option. So we're taking several cycles of breath here. So our child's pose, also known as wisdom pose. I'm just relaxing the hips, allowing that low back to relax, allow the heart to melt towards your mat, forehead towards the mat. It's okay if the forehead doesn't touch, doesn't matter. Good, from here we're gonna get a little more into the side body. So letting the hips stay back by the feet, walk your hands off to the right. So your hands might walk off your mat, that's okay. Reach through those left fingertips. So really reach out through the left hand and feel the lengthening on the left side body. So feel the space being created between all those ribs. Good, walk the hands back to center, take a breath or two here, a little pause. Awesome, hips back towards the heels, walk the hands off to the left. Keep reaching through the right fingertips, feeling the lengthening on the right side body this time. Good, come on back through center. Beautiful, next inhale, we're coming up onto all fours. So we're making our way into our tabletop. You have options here if you want to take a folded blanket and pad the knees. That might feel good, that's just an option. If you got into this position and you're noticing that the knees or the shoulders or something doesn't feel good, you can come back to that seated crisscross position, because we're going to move through cat-cow, but you can just do more of the seated cat-cow we did before. All right, so tabletop means that our knees are under our hips and our shoulders are over our wrists and our toes are tucked under. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Good, middle finger facing the top of the mat. And then check the knees. Make sure that the knees are about hip distance apart. Beautiful. We're going to inhale, belly drops, crown of the head, tailbone high. As you exhale, untuck the toes, we're going to round the back, hands and feet press down, head heavy. Good, inhale, tuck the toes, belly drops. Exhale, untuck the toes, round the back. Beautiful, continuing with your breath. Going at your own pace through your cat-cow. And maybe you close your eyes, matching movement to breath. From here, maybe you'd like to add in a little extra movement. So you're welcome to circle through the shoulders and the hips, or you can wag your tail a little side to side, or maybe you just shift your weight a little front to back. And if you're in your seated cat-cows, you're welcome to make circles. And just follow what your body is asking for, being really mindful. Going slow, there's no rush, no race. We're just trying to waken up the spine. Get a little length in the muscles in the front of the body and the back of the body, along the torso. Okay, a couple more rounds of breath here. Beautiful, come on back through center. So we're gonna bring the big toes together, knees come wide, come back into your child's pose, make adjustments if you need to. If you're in your seated cat-cow, you can hang out in a comfortable seat. You don't necessarily have to come back down to the mat, up to you. Just a couple breaths here. Good, next inhale, back on up onto all fours. Again, option to be seated. So we're gonna move into a twist. If you're on your bum, you're just gonna go through that seated twist that we did at the beginning. Okay, so we're gonna inhale, left hand high, open up the heart. Good, exhale, scoop that hand behind the right wrist. Keep reaching out to the side, let your left ear come down. So my left palm is facing the ceiling. And then the left side of my head is resting on the floor. Keep breathing here. If you want, if it feels okay with your neck and shoulders, the right hand can walk out towards the wall, towards the top of the mat. Just an option. Right? Options mean we don't have to do them if they don't feel right. Good, right hand back in front of the face. We're gonna press down as we unravel, left hand high, open up the heart. Exhale, tabletop. Good, rounder to cat-cow. Beautiful, back to tabletop or neutral spine. All right, twisting to the opposite side, right hand high, open the heart, inhale. Exhale, scoop that hand behind the left wrist. Keep reaching to the side, right ear down. Beautiful, right palm is facing the ceiling. Good, so we're twisting through the torso. And then the left hand, it can stay where it is or it can walk out to the top of the mat if you'd like. Yogi's choice. Good, left hand back in front of the face, press down, unravel, right hand high. Exhale, tabletop. Good, round or two, cat-cow. Good, back to neutral spine. We're gonna take another child's pose. This time we're gonna bring the big toes and the knees together. Pressing the hips back, walk those hands out in front. Good, head heavy. So in child's pose, when we take the knees wide, we're stretching more into the hips. And when we bring the knees together, we're stretching more into the low back. So at any time during any class when you're asked to do a child's pose, either variation is good. It just depends on what feels most comfortable for you and what part of the body you'd rather stretch a little more. So what we're going to do next is flip onto our back. So however you want to get there, again, no right way or wrong way. Okay, so we're going to move into, actually let's start by just hugging the knees into the chest. So let's start there. Hug those knees in, and then we're going to just rock a little, maybe side to side. Or if you'd like, you can make some circles, massaging the low back. And reversing direction, circling the other way. Good, coming to stillness. So from here, we're going to hug the right knee in and let the left leg come along to the mat. Good, so just start to pull either the knee towards the chin or maybe out towards the armpit a little bit, so a little out to the side. Keep breathing. Good, and then we're going to make a few circles with that knee. So you might keep your right hand on the knee, and we're just going to make a couple circles. So we're really circling the thigh bone. It's not actually the knee. We're just hanging onto the knee. So the thigh bone is moving around the hip joint. 3-4 circles one direction, and then reverse. Your circles, they can be as big or as small as you want to make them. Good, come on back through center. Beautiful, we're gonna bring the hands behind the thigh. Okay, and start to reach the right heel up towards the ceiling. Any degree, so your leg might not be straight, it might be bent, that's fine. Okay, keep reaching the heel away. So we're feeling a stretch in the back of the leg. And then we're gonna gently start to point and flex the foot. So pointing the toes and then pulling the toes towards the body. 3 or 4 times. So we're stretching the front and the back of the ankle. So you might feel a little stretch in the top and the bottom of the foot as well. Good, and then we're going to start to make some circles. So circling around the ankle, 3 or 4 in one direction. See if you can go a little slow. Just really feel into all those muscles. Good, and then we're going to reverse direction. And just know that one direction is going to feel a little awkward when you circle. Good, coming back to stillness. We're going to bend that knee, hug it in towards the chest, and then gently let that leg come long, and we're going to hug in the left knee towards the chest. Good, so either towards the chin or a little out to the side, more towards the armpit. Beautiful, take a few cycles of breath here. So you might be feeling a stretch down the back of the leg or maybe the bum a little bit. You might feel it through the hip. And then we're gonna keep the left hand on the knee and make a few circles. So 3, 4, 5 in one direction. Again, circles can be as big or small as you want to make them. Just moving the thigh bone around the hip joint. And then reversing direction, nice and slow, no rush. Good, coming back to center. Beautiful, we're gonna bring the hands behind the thigh, and then we're gonna start to reach the heel towards the ceiling. So again, your leg doesn't have to be straight, it can be bent, totally fine. I'm gonna point and flex the toes. So pointing the toes away and then pulling the toes towards the body. And we're feeling that stretch in the front and the back of the ankle. Might even stretch out the top and the bottom of the foot a little bit. Good, and then we're gonna circle. So circling around the ankle, nice and slow. Making some circles with the foot. So again, maybe 3 or 4 in one direction. And then reversing. No rush, take your time. Good, back to center, hug that knee in. Take a breath or two. Good, so we're gonna bring, the feet are going to, the soles of the feet to the floor. We're gonna bend the knees. All right, so we're gonna come into our reclined pigeon pose. And this pose is, it's great for stretching the muscles in the bum. All those glute muscles, a little bit outside of the hips. You might feel the stretch down the back of the leg or low back too, which is great. But it really focuses on the deep muscles in the glutes. So those muscles don't often get stretched unless you're kind of doing it on purpose. All right, so we're gonna cross our right ankle over our left knee. Good, so notice my toes are active, they're pulling to my shin bone. Okay, so from here, you can use your strap if you'd like, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our right hand between the legs, we're gonna grab the back of the left thigh. Now, if that feels awkward or like you can't really reach, you're gonna use your strap behind that left thigh. We're gonna use your strap, okay? So we're gonna keep those toes active. Head and shoulders relaxed down on the mat. We're gonna gently encourage our left knee towards the nose, any degree. Focus on the low back, the back of the pelvis, sacrum area staying flat on the mat. So we're not lifting up the bum. When we keep the low back rooted, that's going to focus the stretch on the right side of the bum, okay? That's probably where you're noticing the stretch the most. Good. Left leg can be straight or bent any degree. So just feel into your body, notice what feels most comfortable for you. All right, so we're not forcing this stretch, right? We want to feel a stretch without being in pain. So the stretch will deepen the closer you bring your right shin towards your chest. So the more that you're encouraging the left knee to the wall behind you, the deeper your stretch is going to be. But just be mindful, right? We don't want to be in pain. We don't want to hurt ourselves. Good, keep breathing. Beautiful. All right, really important, we're going to keep our ankle crossed. Ankle stays crossed. Gently let your left foot come down to the mat. Good, once that foot is planted, then uncross the ankle. So that is protecting our knee joint, really important, okay? We're gonna do that opposite side. So left ankle over right knee. Good, toes are active, pulling to the shin. Left hand between the legs. So maybe you're using your strap or maybe you're just reaching both hands to that right thigh. Good. Head and shoulders are relaxed. We're going to encourage right knee towards the wall behind you. Good. Focusing on the low back, staying rooted. Do not lift the bum. Keep those toes active. Keep breathing. So we're feeling that stretch on the left side of the bum in those glute muscles. Right? You might feel the stretch come up or down rather, the thigh. You might feel the stretch in the low back. All that is okay. Good, keep breathing. Beautiful. Most important part right now is to keep the ankle crossed. We are protecting our knee joints as we let our right foot come back down to the mat. Good. Once that knee plants, we're going to uncross. Beautiful. From here, let's hug those knees back into the chest. A little rock side to side or a few circles. Reversing direction. Good. From here, we're going to take a gentle twist before we continue. All right, so we're going to open up the arms to a T, let the soles of the feet come down to the mat. Good. So we're going to very gently lift the hips and we're going to scoot the bum just an inch, maybe 2 over to the left. Pull the knees in towards the chest and then let the knees drop over to the right. Good. So your gaze might be at the ceiling or it might start to drift over to the left side of the room. And you can let your legs come down, your knees and your shins come down to the floor, your feet. They don't have to hover. Make adjustments if you need to. Let the shoulder blades get heavy. Shoulder blades might not be touching the floor. That's okay. Good. Come on back through center. Take your time. Let those feet come down to the mat. So we're going to lift the bum, straighten out. Good. Take a breath. Beautiful. Then we're going to lift the bum, scoot an inch or 2 to the right. Rest the bum back down. Pull those knees in. And let the knees drop over to the left. Good. So the legs rest on the floor, the feet might come down, gaze might shift over to the right. Let the shoulder blades get heavy. It's okay if they're not touching the mat, don't worry. Just getting this nice gentle twist through the spine, through the torso. Okay, a couple more breaths here. Come on back through center. Feet down to the mat. Straighten yourself out. Good. This time we're going to hug those knees in. And we're going to roll off to one side. And then use your hands to press yourself up. However you want to get up is fine. I'm just being mindful here. Good, so if you'd like, you can sit up on that blanket or towels or block if you want to lift the hips again. You might want your strap nearby. So we're going to bend the right knee out to the side, left leg comes out straight in front of us. So square the hips are going to face that extended leg. Good. Check the knee, maybe you want to give yourself a little prop. Block, blanket, pillow underneath that, that thigh if you need to. Okay, we're going to sit nice and tall. All right, inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, flat back forward, and then we're going to round on down when you're ready. So we're bringing the flat back as forward as you can and then round. So if you'd like, you're welcome to use your strap. If you want to hook that strap around your foot, you can use the strap to gently pull, or you can walk your hands up the strap. Just keep the shoulders relaxed. So whether or not you're using your strap, relax the shoulders.
And the hands are gonna land wherever they are. So if you're not using your strap, your hands might be on your knee, your ankle, your toes, doesn't matter which. Crown of the head and toes are pulling towards each other. Let your head be heavy, relax the muscles in the neck. Good, inhale, sit tall.
Beautiful. So we're gonna bring that right knee to face the ceiling. So the right foot is on the floor. And then we're crossing the right foot to the outside of that left leg. Doesn't matter how close to your body that foot is, okay? Make sure that it's comfortable. So right hand is back. We're gonna sit nice and tall. Bring the left arm up, and we're gonna twist to the right. So that left hand, my elbow might hook on the knee. You might hug the knee. You might bring the hand to the knee. So any variations, we're twisting the torso to the right. Good, sitting tall, keep breathing here. And come on back through center. Good, we're gonna switch it out. So the right leg is gonna come long, the left knee is gonna come out to the side. Prop that leg if you need to with a pillow or a block. Good, those toes are gonna stay active, sitting tall. Lengthen up through the spine. Inhale, exhale, flat back forward as far as you can. Round when you're ready. Beautiful, hands might land on the knee, ankle, toes. Maybe you're using your strap, hooking it around the foot. Encouraging crown of the head and toes towards each other. Head heavy, keep breathing. Good, your next inhale, sit tall. All right, that left knee is going to face the ceiling, so the left foot is flat on the mat. And then we're gonna step that left foot to the outside of the right leg. Again, doesn't matter how close to your body this foot is. It might be out by your foot, by your ankle, it might be closer to the hip, doesn't matter. So we're gonna sit tall, left hand is back, sit nice and tall. Reach the right hand up, inhale, twisting to the left. So either elbow to knee, hug the knee, bring your hand to your knee. Good, torso twisting to the left, gaze might shift over that left shoulder. Good, come on back through center. All right, we're gonna move into a wide leg forward fold. All right, so I'm going to shift a little here. So you don't have to kill yourself, right? Doesn't matter how wide your legs get, make sure that it's comfortable. So wide leg forward fold is going to stretch out the muscles in the back of the legs as well as the inner thighs and the muscles through the groin. So we're gonna start with the toes active, pulling towards the body. We're gonna sit nice and tall. So hands might be out in front, they might be on your thighs, they might be to the outside of the thighs. Focus on the hips for a moment. We're going to tilt the pelvis a little forward. So imagine you're sticking the booty out a little bit. Good, keep the toes active, belly button in, inhale, flat back forward, exhale, any degree. So hands might walk out, they might walk down the legs, they might reach for the ankles. Maybe you simply bend the elbows a little bit. Keep those toes active. Good, flat back as far as you can. Round when you're ready. Head heavy. Good, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Beautiful, keep breathing. Feeling the opening in the inner thighs. Now slowly sit back tall. I'm gonna bring both legs out in front. So I'm gonna shift. Good, so we're gonna sit nice and tall. Toes are active, pulling them towards the body. Root those hips down. So whether you're sitting on a prop or on the mat, root the hips down. Toes active, sit tall, belly button in, open the heart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, flat back forward as far as you can, and then round it down. Good, hands might land on the knees, ankles, toes. You might be using your strap. Hooking your strap around the feet, gently pulling on the strap. Relax the shoulders, head heavy. Toes and crown of the head are pulling towards each other. So imagining that with every inhale, the spine is lengthening. Every exhale, you are folding 0.5 millimeter deeper. And inhale, sit tall. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take the next few moments to get ready for our Shavasana, our final resting pose. So we're going to start to recline down to the mat. Take your time. Good, taking up some space. So maybe the feet come out a little wide. Maybe you have pillows or a rolled blanket under your knees. We'll take the pressure off the low back. And relax the fingers and the toes. If there's anything in your way, just start to gently push it off to the side. Good, big inhale in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Relax the jaw. Letting the teeth part. Allowing the body to get heavy. Feeling all the points of contact between you and your mat. Relaxing around the eyes, softening across the forehead, behind the ears, softening at the base of the skull. No need for effort in this pose.
reach your hands up overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. Good. We're going to roll off to our side. Left side is invigorating, right side is relaxing. So just let your arm or your hands become your pillow for a moment. Take a couple breaths here. Slowly start to sit tall, maybe letting your hands help you sit up. You're welcome to be up on a prop if you want to lift your hips again. We're going to bring the palms to our heart center. Okay, big inhale in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Again, like that. One more time. And I invite you to join me for an Om to seal our practice. Taking in breath. Bring the thumbs up to the space between the eyes. Bow to yourself for making it to your mat today. It's been my honor leading you through your practice. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me for a gentle yoga class. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, please feel free to either comment here or you are welcome to email me directly. It's katie@muddyyogini.com. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your day and I'll see you soon on your mat.